The stage is alive with excitement as the lights brighten, signaling the next audition. A small Filipino boy steps forward, his clothes simple and a bit too big for his frame, his shoes worn from long walks on the dusty streets of Manila. The audience falls quiet, curious about this shy figure who seems almost out of place on such a grand stage. He grips the microphone tightly, his small hands trembling, and takes a deep breath as he looks out at the crowd. Simon Cowell watches intently, his expression unreadable but intrigued. The boy's soft voice breaks the silence as he introduces himself, saying he comes from the slums of Manila. The words hang in the air, carrying the weight of a life filled with hardship and dreams too big for his world. Some audience members lower their heads, moved by the honesty in his tone. Alicia Dixon smiles warmly, whispering something to Amanda Holden about his courage. The boy stands there, nervous but determined, eyes glistening with a mixture of fear and hope. He explains how he used to sing on the streets to earn a little money for food, his voice his only treasure. Simon leans forward, his usual stern face softening for a moment as he nods gently and says, "Whenever you're ready." The boy closes his eyes, takes one last deep breath, and lifts the microphone to his lips. The entire room seems to hold its breath with him. At that moment, he is not just a boy from the slums, he is a dreamer standing at the edge of destiny, ready to show the world that greatness can come from the humblest beginnings. The spotlight tightens on him, and silence turns into anticipation for something unforgettable. The soft piano melody begins to play, echoing gently through the hall. The boy stands perfectly still, eyes closed, and then releases the first note, clear, soulful, and hauntingly beautiful. The sound travels through the air like a whisper from the heart, silencing every breath in the room. The audience freezes, completely mesmerized. Simon Cowell's usual skeptical expression fades into awe as he leans forward, eyes widening slightly. Each lyric the boy sings carries raw emotion, the kind that only comes from real pain and struggle. His voice trembles with sincerity, yet it grows stronger with every word, filling the theater with a depth far beyond his young age. Alicia Dixon's hand flies to her chest, her eyes shimmering with tears. Amanda Holden softly murmurs, "Oh my God," under her breath, her face full of disbelief. The boy's voice rises, blending heartbreak and hope into a perfect harmony that touches everyone listening. Every note tells a story, of hunger, of loss, of dreams that refuse to die. It's not just singing, it's confession, healing, and magic all at once. The camera pans across the audience, mothers holding their children closer, strangers wiping their eyes, judges frozen in silence. Simon glances briefly at the other judges, as if to confirm that they're hearing what he's hearing, pure, unfiltered talent born from a world of pain. The boy opens his eyes midway through the song, tears glistening but his voice steady, fearless now. His small frame stands tall under the spotlight, owning the stage like a star meant to be discovered. As the final chorus approaches, the music swells, and his voice soars, no longer just a sound, but a cry from the soul that pierces through the hearts of everyone present. The song builds toward its emotional peak, and the boy's voice begins to tremble, not from fear, but from the overwhelming emotion of the story he's telling. His hands clutch the microphone tightly, eyes shut as if reliving every hardship he's endured. The high note arrives, and he gives it everything, his voice breaking beautifully under the weight of emotion. It's raw, real, and utterly breathtaking. The audience can feel every word, every tear that's hidden behind his voice. The lights dim around him, leaving only a single spotlight that glows on his small figure, turning the moment into something almost sacred. Simon Cowell blinks rapidly, his lips parting as he leans forward, visibly shaken. It's rare to see him speechless, but now, words fail him. Amanda Holden covers her mouth, eyes welling with tears. Alicia Dixon looks to the audience and whispers, "This is what music is meant to do." The crowd is frozen, hanging on every note as if afraid to breathe and break the spell. When the boy's voice cracks slightly near the end, it doesn't sound like a flaw, it sounds like truth, a human cry wrapped in melody. As he reaches the final line, his tears spill freely, glistening under the lights. The music fades slowly, leaving his trembling voice echoing in the silence. For a second, there's no applause, only the sound of quiet disbelief. Then suddenly, the entire audience rises to their feet in unison, clapping, cheering, and crying. The boy lowers his head, overwhelmed, as Simon stands and joins the ovation. In that moment, the child who once sang in the streets of Manila becomes a global voice of hope, and the stage transforms into a symbol of dreams finally coming true. As the final echoes of the song fade away, the boy stands motionless on stage, his chest rising and falling with heavy breaths. He looks uncertain, unsure if he did well or if his emotions got the best of him. Then, a slow clap begins, from Simon Cowell himself. The sound grows louder as the entire audience joins in, their cheers shaking the theater. Simon wipes the corner of his eye, his usual composure gone, replaced by pure emotion. For the first time in a long while, the toughest judge on television looks deeply moved, even vulnerable. He stands up and says softly, that was one of the most powerful performances I've ever heard. His voice breaks slightly as he continues, you didn't just sing, you told your story. And every single person here felt it. The boy's eyes widen, tears streaming freely down his face as he tries to process the moment. Amanda Holden nods in agreement, her voice trembling as she says, you've just touched millions of hearts tonight. Alicia Dixon adds, that voice, it's pure soul. You don't need perfection when you have truth. The audience begins chanting his name, waving their arms and crying. The boy covers his mouth in disbelief, looking up as if thanking the heavens. Simon takes a deep breath and smiles warmly, a rare expression that says more than words ever could. You're the reason we make this show, he says quietly. The boy bows deeply, his tears glistening under the spotlight. Cameras zoom in on Simon's tear-streaked face as he claps again, his expression full of admiration. The entire studio feels it. This is more than a performance, it's a miracle of heart, a reminder that music can rise above poverty, pain, and circumstance to touch the soul. The next morning, the boy's performance dominates every headline across the world. Clips of his audition flood social media, each one capturing the moment Simon Cowell wiped away tears. The video racks up millions of views within hours, with people from every corner of the globe sharing his story under captions like, the voice that moved the world, and, from the streets to stardom. Celebrities, musicians, and even government leaders post messages praising his courage and purity. News anchors replay the emotional performance on morning shows, calling him, the miracle boy from Manila. Back in the Philippines, his family gathers around an old television in their small home. His mother can't stop crying as she watches her son sing on the screen, her hands covering her mouth in disbelief. Neighbors crowd around their window, cheering, clapping, and shouting his name with pride. Reporters arrive at the slum, interviewing people who knew him, street vendors, schoolmates, even an old man who once let him sing for coins. They all say the same thing, he was always meant for something greater. Days later, the boy returns home to a hero's welcome. As he steps off the plane, a crowd greets him with flowers and banners reading, Our Pride, Our Hope. Tears fill his eyes as he spots his mother in the crowd. He runs to her and hugs her tightly, whispering, We did it, Mama. Cameras flash, capturing the emotional reunion that symbolizes triumph over struggle. His story becomes a global inspiration, proof that talent can rise from anywhere, that dreams can survive even the harshest realities. The boy who once sang for coins now sings for the world, his voice echoing as a symbol of faith, resilience, and the power of never giving up.